welcome back to Ration Nerd, everyone. Thank you for coming to spend some of your valuable time with me here on this crazy channel. Today, we are going to bust into a Russian pilot's ration. So apparently you could either be flying a jet or a helicopter, and you'd be issued this ration. I am imagining this is for a pilot who's gone down, because if you are flying a jet or a helicopter, there needs to be infrastructure in place, like refueling, rearming, etc. So maybe this is something that gets carried with them in case they go down, or I don't know. It wouldn't make any sense if you have the ability to refuel and rearm a jet. Why couldn't you feed the pilot? You certainly wouldn't need to put his food in a little box. But however, it looks really cool. We're going to have some fun with it. Let's check out what's in a Russian pilot's ration. This is menu number 6. This was produced in 2023. It doesn't expire until December of 2024, which is pretty awesome. And this being menu number 6, it has 1,510 calories in it. Not too shabby. Let's bust into this thing and see what is on the menu. This is in one of those classical little Russian boxes, and it almost looks like a 24-hour ration on the exterior, which is kind of cool. I'm actually really digging this. I still don't get the point for giving a helicopter or a jet pilot a ration like this, unless it's, well, for them bailing out and getting stuck behind enemy lines or something. This might be a little heavy for all that, but whatever. Don't need to debate the whys, but we can see, obviously, this is for a pilot. So let's try to crack this thing open gently. I kind of like this box. I want to save it. Of course, I save all my ration bags and boxes because I'm weird like that. That does not want to open up easily, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It is in this foil-lined box, but I've never known that to stop a Russian ration from going funky. And that, refreshingly, does not smell like anything. So maybe if we got crackers in here, they didn't go funky stale. If we even got crackers in... Ooh, something broke apart in there. I don't know if you guys can see that good, but there is definitely some brown dust on the bottom. Either coffee or tea, I hope anyway. Oh man, we lost something. So let me get these out. And we will translate these here in a second after we figure out what busted all over the place, because it's all over everything. I mean, 3 spoons. This is certainly not 3 meals. Maybe it just takes 3 spoons to equal 1 spoon because these things are so thin. And then here's your main, and then some nutritional information. What burst open? Oh, it's this. It's the coffee. Damn it. Damn it. You bastards. Man. Couldn't have been the sugar. I mean, it'd have been better if the sugar was all over the place, not the coffee. Damn it. All right, and that's the end of the box, which is just this little super paper thin napkin with that cute little box in there. You know what? To hell with the translator. We're just going to open this up and have some fun with it and figure out what everything is as we open it up. I'm going to get the coffee dusted off all these items, then I'll get them out onto a tray, and we'll open them up and figure out what they are as we open them up. All right, we're going to get right into this thing. We're going to try to salvage some coffee, even though it's been opened up and kind of just pooping its contents all over the inside of the ration box. We're still going to go for it because we're going to check it just to make sure there's no mold or anything on it. Certainly looks like it was exposed to a little bit of moisture, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. We're going to sink a whole bunch of this sugar into it because you get a 20-gram pack of sugar, which is always fun. Get your diabetes on. Get your diabetes on. Let's check out that coffee. Coffee for dinner. It's dinner time here in Ration Nerd Land. I mean, kudos for giving us coffee and like plenty of spoons to share this with friends or something. I don't know. Up against that hot water, this spoon is just like all bendy and crazy. That's just not good. These spoons really are a hot mess. Like, I've literally like cut my lip just a little bit on one of these spoons. So Russian ration eater beware. These things will literally, they're so thin and so sharp, they'll slice your lip. So just watch out for that. At least we have 3 of them, so I could just throw that one away. Didn't even have to worry about wiping it off. Let's get a little sip of that coffee. Even though we lost a bit of that coffee to the interior of the bag, still tastes pretty good. Not very acidic, not even very nutty, very mild coffee flavor. It's just okay. Most of the time when I have Russian coffee, I'm super excited about it. This one in particular though, a little bit on the weaker side. I put a good bit of water in there. There was also a hell of a lot of sugar in there. It's decent though. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. Not the best cup I've ever had, not even the best cup of Russian instant coffee I've ever had. But you know what? This cup of coffee could really use fucking creamer. So fuck you guys and not giving me any coffee creamer because you give it out in the Russian civilian rations. So, yeah, give your guys some creamer. We're going to get another sip of that just because it's coffee, and coffee, well, coffee is life. So let's check out each one of these containers, see what we have. These did take a little bit of abuse, but that's okay. They seem to be perfectly sealed. And we have a vegetable caviar in this guy, which is kind of weird because we don't have any biscuits to go with it. Like, I was truly expecting a big old pack of stale Russian crackers in here. I don't know what the hell we're doing with this vegetable caviar without crackers. Whoever planned this ration was not thinking ahead. Oh. That just kind of like pooped out at me. I'm not even sure what that is. It looks like some kind of fruit sauce, maybe? I don't know. We're just going to have to figure it out. Looks like baby food. Maybe like pilots just, maybe their pilots don't have teeth and they just need baby food. I don't know. Let's get a tiny little bite of this so I can actually tell you what it is. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of spooky. It's a little bit chunky. So, ooh. Definitely has a baby food consistency. That's a little odd, a little strange, but we're going to throw some in the old face hole anyway. That is bananas and maybe some other fruits kind of mixed together. It's kind of nasty. Like, it's not great. It's not overly sweet. Maybe I just kind of need to mix it up. Maybe it's gone sour or rancid and I just don't realize it because I don't know what the original flavor profile is supposed to taste like. But it's got some chunkiness going on. That's a little bit weird. Let's try it again. Well, it's very likely still good. Certainly not the greatest. That's like Russian baby food. That's kind of creepy that you're going to give that to a soldier. Like I said, maybe Russian pilots don't really have a lot of teeth. I'm not really sure. Ooh, then we have some Russian mystery meat. Let's get that right out onto the tray and just figure that out. Like, where's the crackers? You guys are killing me. Like, it makes me want to go fish around in some of my other, like, ration leftovers and grab some crackers, but that's not fair, because that's not how we do it on this channel, but bloink. Let's just go in right off the bat for a play. It looks like pate. Man, I'm going to be really pissed if this is pate and they didn't give you any crackers. Nope, that's not pate. That's just some really finely minced or ground Russian mystery meatloaf. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see what we got rocking in this main. Still nice and sealed, which is always good. And there's no ration heater or anything with this, which is, well, kind of a bummer. Oh, not the Russian pasta. Oh, damn it. Russian pasta has a tendency to be really greasy and pretty disgusting. And, let me get a sniff of that. Actually, it doesn't smell bad. I thought it would. We're going to have to get this heating up so we can check out this mess right here without any doubt. I'm definitely super pissed that we don't have any crackers to go with this vegetable caviar and the mystery meat. It's just not fair. I always have a shit ton of spare ration components laying around here. Imagine that. But we will get some tablets out of that United Arab Emirates ration. Check out that review if you've not seen it. That was certainly interesting. We'll get us an Esbit tablet out here. And because I just recently did that review, we'll snatch one of these German matches. Hopefully this will get this Esbit tablet lit. I don't see why it wouldn't. And let's see if we can't mildly scorch this on the bottom, which is certainly going to be the result of that, but we're going to give it hell anyway. While we're waiting for that to heat up, let's get this chocolate bar out onto the tray. Generally, I like Russian dark chocolate, which is exactly what that is. Ooh, we're popping in a fizzing already. So I guess while we're waiting to make an absolute mess out of that, I'm going to talk about this little mystery meat a little bit more. It certainly has a nice fat content. It is definitely just some really finely minced mystery meat. I would guess that that is pork, but quite honestly, can't really tell. That is a whole lot like a Vienna sausage. Very smooth consistency at first, and then it kind of turns grainy with all the little meat bits that are in there. It's actually pretty decent. It's got a nice peppery flavor to it, which is always nice. Some of the Russian mystery meats actually will really weird you out. This certainly wouldn't be one of them. This is actually pretty decent. It's not a pate, which is a total bummer, but it's not bad. A little protein boost. So eat your Russian mystery meat and be happy. This pasta, though, I have zero hope of this pasta being any good, honestly. I know that's, I'm not trying to shit on it before I even take the first bite, but I've had some Russian pasta before, and it's been pretty nasty. Maybe I'll get really lucky, and this will surprise me. I have my doubts, so let's just put it that way. And I did totally forget to say it. We did get salt and pepper in that, so we can definitely salt and pepper the main if needs be. And we'll check out this vegetable caviar over here, which is a real bitch. They didn't give you any crackers to go with this. And that's exactly what that is. And I don't dislike this vegetable caviar. I actually kind of quite like it. But to be honest with you, without having crackers to spread this on, this is, again, kind of like having another can of Russian baby food to eat. This is just like your savory baby food, and that's your sweet baby food. Kind of a poor choice for this ration, if I'm being honest. I guess this is okay if you just need to really eat it in an extreme hurry and everything's kind of soft and easy to eat, but that doesn't account for having to heat up your main. If they would have given you a main that you could have eaten cold, and that is not the fucking one, let me tell you. But this just consistency is, well, kind of poorly planned. I was honestly extremely surprised that there was not at least one pack of crackers in this ration. I was honestly expecting 2 packs. Getting 0 packs was certainly, unexpected. That big old slimy block of Russian pasta. I'm really hoping this surprises me. It would be absolutely great if it did. This is my dinner, and I'm kind of glad I didn't translate it because I might have thought twice about doing this ration for dinner. So thankfully I did not translate this ration, which means you get to see it, because otherwise I probably would have did something else. Because honestly, the Russian pasta, every Russian pasta I've had has been really just disgusting. So we get to giggle about this together, or I get to be wrong about Russian pasta for once, which honestly would be great. I would much rather be wrong about this pasta than be correct about it, if I'm being honest. Now, while we're waiting for the main, we eat our mystery meat, and we eat our vegetable pudding, which is, it's okay. It just sucks without crackers. And it's odd, it almost has the consistency of pumpkin pie, but it totally doesn't taste like that. So it's very deceiving as far as the way that it looks. I mean, that could almost be like a sweet potato pie filling or a pumpkin pie filling. But let me tell you, it does not taste like either one of those things. And I'm probably going to burn this pasta on the bottom, but you know what? That's just okay. It's going to be what it's going to be. I really think this would have been an excellent place for a Russian FRH. That would have heated up this soft tin really nicely. I don't know if you're just supposed to heat this up on like the jet engine of your plane or like your helicopter's engine block. I'm not even sure if that's a thing. But again, I don't really see the point in having a pilot's ration unless they're eating it when they go down. And I guess if you go down out of a helicopter or a jet, you'd be happy just to have some food with you. But I think there's a lot easier ways to pull that off than this. Heating this up in the ration tin is extremely difficult, very messy, because the noodles just don't want to come apart until they get really warm. So some of this is just going to burn on the bottom, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it, or anything I'm going to do about it, because, well, I'm not trying to get like 3rd-degree burns today, so we're just going to not do it. Let's see if we can... Oh, this spoon sucks balls. I mean, they gave you 3 of them. I guess I could have put all 3 of them together, but I did throw one of them out being a smartass. I'm really not sure if that's just a mistake, putting 3 spoons in there. If anybody from the Russian Defense Ministry sees this video, somebody's losing their job. You'll give out 3 spoons. This is a waste. More veggie pudding. That veggie pudding, though. Oddly enough, I like the veggie pudding more than I do like the banana baby food. Ugh. Tell you what, though, the mystery meat and the veggie pudding kind of go pretty well together. It's fun though, because Russian ration items are always such a surprise. Like, you can get the same item in 2 different rations and it have a completely different quality, consistency. It's just crazy. Like, if you were to get these components in a different Russian ration, they could completely taste absolutely different than they taste right now. Quality control is certainly an issue with Russian rations, so I would definitely say buyer beware. Be careful of what you're eating. And if it doesn't taste right, whatever you do, don't eat it. Kind of sad to see the mystery meat go. And it looks like that is as good as we are going to get on the pasta, because our Esbit tablet is almost out. So let me burn these fingers up real quick. Oh, that's hot. That's real hot. God damn it. Come on, you piece of crap spoon. Oh, I burn myself for you. Ow. All right. So that is a big pile of Russian pasta goodness, question mark. So we definitely have this curly pasta in here, kind of like macaroni noodles. We have what looks like some beef floating around in here, some more Russian mystery meat, and that's about it. No veggies to speak of. There is a decent fat content to this, which is usually what makes the noodles taste like they're coated in Vaseline. I'm really hoping that's not the case. We'll get a bite of this first thing before we put any salt and pepper on it. Let's take a look at that Russian pasta wholesomeness. Down the hatch. I'm not really sure what it is about Russian pasta and the greasiness, but it's so strange. Every Russian pasta I've had has this really like greasy mouthfeel to it. It's almost like they just put straight tallow in there. So we're gonna douse this with some pepper pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and salt it up a bit. Try to be able to eat this, because this is really what I planned on having for dinner. So we got to try to make it palatable. Don't want to go too crazy with the salt until I get a taste of it. All right, let's try that with some salt and pepper mixed in. Hopefully that just tunes it right up. The flavor of this pasta really isn't bad, especially when you put some salt and pepper on it. And honestly, heating it up on that Esbit stove put a little bit of burn on the bottom, which actually gives it a nice, well, a little bit more depth of flavor. My only problem with this is the weird greasy mouthfeel of the pasta. No clue why that's like that. It's just super greasy. I will say though that this actually tastes pretty good, especially with the burn on it from the Esbit stove. I just wish they could come up with a way not to make their pasta actually just taste greasy in your mouth. The meat has a bit of a smoky, like beefy flavor, which is good. This is actually not that bad if it wasn't for the greasy mouthfeel, which is just really odd. I don't know why they keep trying to do this pasta. You guys keep fucking it up. I'm pretty hungry. This is going down pretty easy because I'm hungry. If you're not extremely hungry, you're not going to be able to get past that greasy feeling this pasta leaves in your mouth. The beef in here really saves it. It has a lot of flavor and kind of makes up for the greasiness, maybe, sort of. It would certainly be nice if they added some vegetables to this. Give it a lot more depth of flavor, that's for sure. Dear Russia, why do you guys fuck up pasta so bad? I mean, putting pasta in any retort pouch is really hard. Soft tin, regular retort pouch, in a can, it doesn't matter. I think pasta is kind of a lost cause when it comes to rations and MREs. Like, just don't do it. Don't do pasta. Actually, I take that back. The French, when the French do the pork cheeks and raviolis, those damn raviolis are actually really good. So if you're French, go ahead and do pasta. Everybody else, don't do it. Oh, last bite of the greasy pasta. I could have never gotten that hot, greasy mess down if I wasn't, well, pretty damn hungry. They definitely need to work on that whole pasta thing, or just delete it from their menu options altogether. Just stick to kasha. Keep putting rice and buckwheat and stuff in there. Just stop fucking with noodles, Russia. Like, seriously, cut your shit. Ugh, gotta clear some of that grease out of my palate with some nice hot coffee. Coffee is good, even when it's not good. So I guess we're gonna move on to this banana weirdness. It's just a little bit odd. Like, this really isn't for me. I guess maybe your mileage may vary as far as like banana baby food goes, but this just really isn't a good flavor profile and certainly not a good texture fit for me. It's just kind of, well, it's like baby food. Yeah, that's not for me. It has a weird chemical aftertaste. Maybe because they like slammed it full of maltodextrin or something, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of ration manufacturers do. But that has a weird, odd, chemical sweet aftertaste that completely fucks it up. The banana almost tastes artificial, although I think that's what this creamy chunkiness is the banana. That's just completely not for me. That weird sweet aftertaste is doing me no favors. That shit is, well, it's baby food, and I'm not really into it. So since I did get some of that nasty baby food on me, let's check out this moist towelette. Let's see what Russia has to smell. And it does not smell like dirty grandma. See, the Russians get it. You don't want to leave your soldiers smelling like anything except for nothing, because smelling like nothing is probably good in a combat environment. And let's check out that really nice bar of Russian dark chocolate. Check that out. I've had a bunch of Russian dark chocolate, and it's always been really good to me. Let's give that a go. And that is honestly a welcome addition to what has been, well, a rather lackluster kind of, just kind of okay ration. Thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd for this Russian Pilot's Ration, menu number 6. This certainly was not the best ration I've ever had. Coming in at 1,500 calories, if you can get it all in your face hole. Not too bad for this box size. This is relatively easily packed, easily stowed, and easily stored. I think the concept of this ration is awesome, but the components certainly need some work. I still am not really 100% sure why a pilot would need a ration, considering the support infrastructure that is involved in running aircraft. They wouldn't really need an MRE style ration. They would probably just be able to eat at a mess hall. But I'm certainly not complaining, because that brought me to this point where I was able to review this ration with you guys. And you know how it goes. I need your help. I could really use the assistance if you guys could do me a big favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, talk to me in the chat. It is always good to hear from you guys. And you guys absolutely know how it goes from this point on, don't you? By now? I hope so. If you guys can find something better than this Russian pilot's ration to put in your face hole, you absolutely know what to do. You completely, 100% know what to do. Welcome back to Ration Nerd. Thank you guys for coming along for another review with me. This is an older ration from a shop that used to be called Minotaur Trading Company. As you can say, it says Minotaur MRE. This guy went out of business. It's kind of a shame. He did put out some nice, neat stuff, but it was all pretty much just repackaged US MRE stuff, as well as some other components that may or may not have held up very well. But it certainly is pretty fun. He put out some niche, like, Fallout rations and stuff like that came in ammo cans. Really cool. Don't know what drove this guy out of business, but there was a lot of controversy concerning his company, Minotaur Trading Company. But we are going to break into this menu number 4, pepperoni pizza. And this thing had an inspection date of 6/21. I don't know when it was packed. Obviously, way before 2021 if it had an inspection date of 21. But we're going to break into this and see what Minotaur Trading Company thought should be in a menu number 4 pepperoni pizza. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of US MRE components, but we will crack in and we will find out. I do like the novelty of a lot of the stuff this company did. And, well, it's definitely got a big, cool fucking sticker on it, which is pretty epic. But rather than rambling on about it, let's get in here and see what is on tap in a Minotaur Trading Company ration. And I guess this is a collector's item. Meh, not so much, but whatever. Let's get a sniff on the inside of that bag. Ah, that smells kind of cheesy in there. That is never a good sign, but fuck it. Let's get into it anyway. Look at that. So we have an accessory kit with some Smarties, which was kind of like a trademark of his. And we have some hot pepper sauce. We'll get into that there in a minute. We have some True Orange, which is just a powder that you add to water to give it some taste. Not too shabby, I guess. We have a US flameless ration heater. You guys know how I feel about these things. They just don't work all that great, but you get a ration heater. I am going to review a brand new US MRE, which I have been told the new US MRE flameless ration heaters actually work. Now that could be just because they're brand new. It also, well, maybe they changed up the formula in the FRHs. We'll have to find out together. And we have an apple cinnamon First Strike bar. These are actually pretty good. I've had some really old First Strike bars, so if nothing else, this ought to be edible. We have some of this hideous fucking cream cheese icing. This guy that ran Minotaur Trading Company, for whatever reason, either got like pallets of this cream cheese icing and just wanted to put them in everything. This shit's pretty horrible. We'll try it just so I can describe it to you, although I've had it enough times where I could literally describe it to you right now. But we'll break into this chemical nastiness and give it a try just for shits and giggles. And we have a mocha dessert bar. Again, probably just fine. We'll break in and check out that mocha dessert bar. We also have a True Lime. I mean, kudos for having options for drinks. These provide 0 calories, but they do help water taste more better. So, True Lime, not a bad look. And we have some crackers. Now, these are not that's why. They're not US MRE crackers. They're MRE Star brand crackers. So, these are packaged under the same conditions, but we'll see if they're still any good. We also have the dreaded pizza slice, which if you've never had one of these, I highly recommend just trying one so you can see what pizza is not supposed to taste like. We have an MRE Star brand orange powder beverage, which says it has electrolytes and vitamin C added. We'll give that a little day in court. It's still nice and powdery in there. Didn't get all caked up, so that should be just fine. Now this is interesting. I've not seen these in a US MRE. This is a sweetened condensed milk spread, 100 calories of sweetened condensed milk in this little guy. It's a damn shame there's no coffee to go with this sweetened condensed milk. What in the fuck was he thinking? But you have some sweetened condensed milk, I guess. Maybe you put sweetened condensed milk on your crackers. So that's the thing. This guy, like when he put these rations together, I think it was just kind of what he had on hand. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. When you have sweetened condensed milk and cream cheese icing, with crackers, a mocha dessert bar, and an apple cinnamon first strike bar doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And then we have some grape jelly. Again, I can see sweetened condensed milk and grape jelly going together, but that cream cheese icing is hideous, and there's really no rhyme or reason to this. Just a bunch of randomly sweet items. I guess if you just take it on a calorie content, I mean, there are 70 calories in this container. That's not a whole lot. I mean, quite honestly, grape jelly, like, yeah, you can suck it out of the pouch, but it's just straight sugar, so I don't really get it. But this is everything that is in that menu number 4, Minotaur Trading Company ration. Let's get this out onto a tray and let's just fuck with it. So we'll get this accessory kit opened up and see what we have. This is certainly not a US MRE spoon. This is a, well, really cheesy version of a MRE spoon, I suppose, but it'll do the trick. At least it's not super brittle. It is kind of bendy, but you get a spoon. An MRE Star napkin, which is kind of weird. You know, you have your own ration company, you're going to put an MRE Star packet in there. Non-dairy creamer. Uh-oh, what's that all about? Crushed red peppers. A deep, rich coffee, which, oh, that is so hard. It just feels like coffee paper. We'll open it up. We'll take a look. But I have a feeling that coffee is not being consumed by this guy, not unless I felt like getting sick, which I absolutely don't feel like doing. So we would have had a coffee if it would have survived the test of time. We have salt and pepper, always a welcome addition, although I don't see salt and pepper being needed on anything. And we also have a pack of sugar, a small pack of Smarties candies, some toothpicks, which are, well, that's always good. And we have a moist towelette made by Cisco. Well, I guess we're going to start out with getting some of these drinks fired up. We're going to try out this orange drink. Well, because we have it and we can, let's see how much water they want us to add to this thing. This says to mix with 12 ounces of water, so we'll get a slightly larger glass here. And this does have a decent tear notch on it, which is always nice. And we'll take a look at this coffee, but we're not drinking it because this stuff has turned into coffee leather, so it is bad. So, like I can't even get that package open. I mean, I hope you can see that, sort of, kinda. Somehow moisture got into this, and it is just a solid brick of undrinkable coffee, which I'm not getting sick, not today. So we're just going to go ahead and chuck this deep, rich coffee right in the trash where it needs to be. So I guess we should try one of the other drinks. This True Orange sounds good. Get about 12 ounces of water in that orange drink. Let's see if these crackers survive the test of time. There's a nice little hiss on them. That doesn't mean much, though. Well, those crackers smell just fine. They smell a little bit on the stale side, but I honestly don't know that much about MRE Star rations. I hope they're good. Check out that mocha dessert bar. That actually smells decent. Smells okay. Take a look at that thing. And that apple cinnamon first strike bar. And that smells really good. Just like a thick, chewy, well, first strike bar. And let's see what that pizza slice is all about. I'm not really scared of these Bridgeford items because, well, they last a long time. That looks dark and uninviting. The cheese is brown. We got that do not eat on there. I'm wondering if is that like a label, like this isn't really food, do not eat it, or no, it's for this little pack, I get it. But take a look at that. That is uber appetizing right there. That is shelf-stable food at its finest. And I'm not going to bother putting this on any food, but I'm going to open this up and give it a little taste test. Because I taste everything, even if I don't like it, I already know I don't like this cream cheese icing and that it's pretty disgusting. But we're just going to get a little bit out here on the spoon. And this kind of looks like milky Vaseline because, well, it probably has similar contents to Vaseline. I honestly don't want to read the ingredients because I don't want to know, honestly. But let's give this a taste and I'll tell you about it. Oh, God. That shit is so nasty. That is literally like putting Vaseline with sugar and vanilla flavoring right in your face hole. It's super disgusting. I don't know if the U.S. government ever truly handed this out in a ration. I've never seen it in any U.S. MREs, and I've eaten a fair few U.S. MREs in my day. This shit is nasty. Super nasty. Would never want to eat this. I would have to literally be starving, and I mean starving, to ever want to put this in my face hole. This tastes like sweet chemicals. It has a greasy Vaseline mouthfeel. It's super disgusting. You know, first ingredient is sugar. Second ingredient is margarine. This shit is foul. If you ever get it in any ration, do yourself a favor, throw that shit in the trash. So let's see if this sweetened condensed milk survived. I really hope it did. Sweetened condensed milk is, well, sweetened condensed milk. Get a little nibble of this cracker first to make sure it's still good. Certainly not a US MRE cracker, but it's just fine. It has a little bit more of a bland taste than a US MRE cracker, but that's okay. It's just a cracker. It did survive. I really hope this sweetened condensed milk survived because I love me some sweetened condensed milk. I really don't get the point of putting sweetened condensed milk and that nasty cream cheese icing in the same ration, but I guess he just really liked sweet shit. Oh, dripping it all over the place. And that certainly looks like it's just fine. Let's give it a taste and find out. You have got to love some sweetened condensed milk. That stuff is awesome. So let's just try some sweetened condensed milk on a cracker. I mean, that's kind of boring, but you know what? Sometimes stuff like this, just simple stuff, a little bit of sweetened condensed milk on something crunchy, it's pretty good. And that is amazing. It kind of makes this cracker taste like a cookie. It's pretty crazy. I absolutely adore sweetened condensed milk. I love this stuff. So this is a really nice treat for me. Let's check out that US MRE grape jelly. Get that nice and mixed up. A little bit watery of a consistency, but I would have kind of expect that, considering this stuff's been just sitting around in a package for a long time. Get that all spread around on our cracker. Crazy cracker. And that grape jelly, well, tastes like grape jelly. It did come from a US MRE manufacturing facility originally, so I really wouldn't expect it to be bad at this point. Let's try that grape jelly on a cracker with some sweetened condensed milk, because options are certainly limited in this ration. I really don't think this thing was designed very well. It's really just a bunch of random shit in a bag, which is fine, except for when you're selling them for the prices he was selling these things for. And he sold some kind of membership thing, which he just kind of pieced out on in the middle of, which I guess that's why he's not in business anymore. But check out that mess. That's some grape jelly with some sweetened condensed milk on a cracker. Let's give that a bite. And that's actually really good together. It really tastes like a, I don't know, like there's a crazy, mildly fruity, crunchy cookie. It's actually pretty awesome. I mean, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of like a dessert / junk food ration, which, you know, sometimes might be okay. But as far as keeping somebody like up and moving, I mean, I guess it kind of does it, but this is definitely going to block you up. Like all these crazy chemicals that are in this stuff are probably just going to like clog up your intestines, which I guess could be a good or bad thing, depending on how much time you have to stop and poop. But realistically, this is definitely like a diabetes ration. This is going to give you diabetes. It's going to block you up. I think this was planned out poorly, if I'm being 100% honest. Definitely could have done a better job on like nutritional planning perspective, but I guess it's calories in a bag, which, you know, some rations are just kind of like that. It's calories in a bag. That's certainly what this is rocking. I guess we're going to get a taste of this nasty brown cheesy pizza. Well, the reality is that fake cheese was, well, stained by the fake tomato sauce that's on there. And maybe that fake cheese just turns brown after a long period of time. We're going to go gently on this. We're going to get a little nibble and figure out if this is still good. It's probably still good. It's a Bridgeford product, but I'm still a little scared. So let's just stop yapping and get to biting. Ugh, I guess it's still edible, but damn. This Bridgeford pizza slice is not really great to begin with. And the age that's on this thing, it looks completely unappetizing, as you can see with your dirty little eyeballs. That looks nasty. That is not what cheese should look like. They probably should have made this into like some kind of sandwich where they put this garbage on the inside so you couldn't really see it, which would have been a whole lot smarter. I know they're trying to give you the impression that you're having a slice of pizza, but even like elementary school pizza looks better than this shit. This is pretty nasty. Is it edible? Sure. If you close your eyes, it kind of sort of maybe tastes like pizza on some kind of weird bread, but it's not great, and age did not do this thing any favors. I have no idea what the storage conditions of this ration were. Probably pretty shitty considering that coffee was bad, but you never know. I guess we'll get another bite of this pizza just because I think I should, question mark. I mean, should I really? Or should I just leave? Whatever, we'll get another bite. I mean, that tastes like pizza in every way that something shouldn't taste like pizza. It's a really hard, it's very chewy, it's very doughy. Heating that thing up is not going to change anything. It's just pretty nasty. Like, whoever likes these things, you got problems. It totally does not taste like real food. It kind of tastes like, well, like a kid made it with a Play-Doh set. I mean, it kind of has some vague resemblance to food. The only thing that really makes you think it's food is the bread. So it definitely just tastes like a piece of Bridgeford bread with all this crap on top of it. And that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's shelf stable. It'll last for a long time. It'll put some calories in you, but it's certainly not going to be enjoyable. And let's try that Apple First Strike bar. And although that is a hot mess of chemical-laden craziness, I actually like those. They have a really good taste to them, a really nice chew. They're pretty tough to get going, like to start chewing it, but once you do, it has a really nice spicy flavor, kind of like an over-spiced apple pie, or almost like a mixture between the spices you would find in an apple pie and the spice flavor profile that you would find in a piece of pumpkin pie. They're really good though. The worst thing they could do is put the ingredients on the exterior of the package, because wow, this thing has a lot of ingredients, but at least this actually does taste good. These things really do stand the test of time. I actually kind of like carrying these with me in get-home bags, bug-out bags, whatever you want to call them, when I have the chance. Recently, I've been eating them all for the channel, so you know how that goes. But these things are actually pretty decent. Let's try that mocha dessert bar. This really feels like a piece of Play-Doh. It was seriously like when you were building things or making things out of Play-Doh when you were a kid. That's exactly what that feels like. Let's get a little bite of this mocha dessert bar, mocha Play-Doh. And that does have a decent chocolate flavor. Certainly has an aftertaste, like a chemical aftertaste, which is kind of a bummer. It's pretty good. Certainly lasts, stands the test of time. I've had older mocha dessert bars, so those things last. It'll put some calories in you, but it certainly has a chemical aftertaste, so it's just kind of okay. Let's try this orange Kool-Aid, and that's not bad. It is kind of like orange Kool-Aid. It's not hateful. It's not great. It certainly doesn't taste natural. Kind of tastes like a kid's orange Kool-Aid. Not the worst thing I've ever had, but certainly not the best drink I've ever had in a ration by far. Let's try that True Orange added to our water, which you can see did make our water a little cloudy. And I actually really like that stuff. It's a great way to make water taste more better, just like I said. Gives a little bit of an orange hint to it, no sweetness at all. But if you had chemically treated water that kind of had that chemically treated water flavor, this stuff would certainly knock that flavor out and allow you to drink the water and, well, just get it down a lot easier. I actually like this way better than I like the orange Kool-Aid. So kudos to this guy for starting his own company and stuff like that. And these are kind of cool. There was a lot of really novel things he did, like these huge 72-hour rations and stuff like that. That stuff was really neat. It was really just a whole lot of items just like this. A lot of Bridgeford products, a lot of US MRE stuff. And that's totally cool. Those things were really neat, and they were huge boxes of, well, shelf-stable food, all just packed in a big box, like mythical hero, names on them. I gotta say, this ration wasn't designed very well. This is kind of like like a kid's junk food ration. Don't get me wrong, I do like having some, sweet dessert items in rations, period. But this is just a little overkill. It's just a little too much, well, junk. And this ration pretty much is just like a bag full of junk food. You will never hear me complain about a ration having sweetened condensed milk in it, though. Sweetened condensed milk is the bomb in a ration. It's an awesome source of calories if you need a calorie boost in a ration, which I don't think this one really did. Although I'm excited the sweetened condensed milk was in here and survived. This ration was nothing but kind of like empty calories. I think the only thing that has any meaningful calories in it would be this First Strike bar. So it was definitely fun breaking into this ration, seeing what was in here. Let's check out this Cisco Moist Towelette, see if it stayed moist. Oh, it did. It's super wet, super thin. Not going to be all that great, but it's something to clean up your digits. I had a little bit of sweetened condensed milk sticking me up there. Smells a little like grandma. Everybody loves that grandma smell. I just don't get it. Like, just give me a towelette that smells like nothing. And this napkin is about paper thin, but it'll help clean a little bit of that grandma juice off my fingers, which was pretty nasty. The True Lime is going to be a lot like the True Orange. This creamer, well, it's not really necessary because the coffee died. Salt and pepper's always great to have, but this shit just didn't need it. We'll eat some Smarties. I mean, as if I didn't have enough just random empty calorie sugar. If you've never had Smarties before, I don't know what rock you're living under. These are like little aspirin-sized sugared candies that have sort of kind of a fruit flavor to them. They're just sugar. One thing I will say is I haven't had these bitches in a long time. Definitely bring back some memories. These things are good. I'm not finishing that. I'll nibble on that a little bit. Nah, maybe some of that. Crackers are definitely going to get killed because they got sweetened condensed milk on them. This was like a ration you'd bring out for your kids if you weren't worried about feeding your kids really nutritional food. Like if you just wanted to put some calories in somebody, this is a way to do it. That cream cheese icing is fucking filthy. Highly do not recommend ever putting that in your face hole if you can avoid it. The rest of this stuff is just kind of okay. I really do like the jelly and sweetened condensed milk. It is what it is though. Minotaur Trading Company is out of business. I have no hate for them. I'm just being honest about the contents of this ration. There were other things that guy did when he was in business as Minotaur Trading Company that were really cool, really fun, really unique. Still enjoyed doing this video. It was a lot of fun. Well, everybody, thank you for joining me here on Ration Nerd for this menu number 4, pepperoni pizza by Minotaur Trading Company. Sadly, unless you find one for sale from a private collector, you're not going to be able to get any of these anymore, but that's totally okay. I don't know that these were great rations to have on hand for an emergency in the first place, unless you just needed a ration full of junk food, in which case, this motherfucker had you covered all day. But if you guys like what I'm doing here on this channel, you could do me a big fat fucking favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, talk to me in the chat. It is always good to hear from you guys, and until next time, you know what to do. You absolutely know what to do. Eat him up.
Oh, I got the diabetes. Shoulda buzz.